Sam, what is the name of your game?
Yes, I've been playing a game with its own unique name, Minishoot Adventures, but with probably the largest collection of influences that it's wearing on its
Hmm.
sleeve. So, as you're seeing, this is essentially a twin stick shooter, but it is an adventure game much the same as like A Link to the Past or any sort of 2D Zelda. So
Mhm.
you're going through the game, going through maps, finding different abilities for traversal and different movement options. There's nothing quite like a hook shot in this, but there is ways to get over gaps and stuff that you don't originally have at the start of the game. And yeah, it's basically a bullet hell shooter that you are just adventuring around the map as opposed to moving constantly on a plane. And it is a very good Zelda
Hmm.
game. It does the thing that Zelda games do incredibly well, which is to suggest that there's more around every corner, and that like
Hmm.
if you just explore a little bit longer, you might be able to find a way over here, or you might be able to discover the next room that will get you the item that will eventually down the line get you over this gap or get you through this door. Um, it isn't,
Looks
it
cool,
it
actually. It's a
yeah,
neat idea.
it threads the line of like maybe being a little too retro. It certainly, lends a hand to the player to kind of give them an idea of where to go, but it doesn't outright ever tell you. So if you're not used to a game that's kind of like, hey, go here, or any of that stuff, it might be a little confusing. But it is, you know, it nails that sort of old school 2D top down Zelda, with then a very solid twin
Hmm.
stick shooter, that is your movement and combat.
Is the movement like it looked like he kind of slides around, or the plane slides around a little bit? Does that
Yeah, so at
is there
some
sort
point
of
you
like right
gain
here? Yeah.
yeah, so at some point you gain like a boost that adds a little
Hmm.
bit of a little bit of speed and then also some momentum when you're going around corners. You do also gain a traversal that puts you not on solid ground. Well, it's in the trailer there, so
Yep.
it runs you on water, and
Hmm.
that physics is a little different. Like you can't strafe
Mm.
in water unless you're boosting and stuff like that. So it gets a little complicated with movement, especially when you're in environments where you're moving between the two. Um, but it's just like a lot of fun. It's it has I don't know that you'd call them dungeons, but it has environments that are meant as a like contained experience to get through, and then an overworld
Hmm.
map to sort of link all that stuff together, and then hidden objects, hidden upgrades. It does have a leveling system. By defeating enemies, you gain experience, and then you can upgrade your guns and your boost speed, stuff like that. So it has an upgrade system built in.
Hmm.
It has a map that you can sort of buy different objects in the game that will sort of streamline your experience a little bit, or like help you with progression. Like at some point, it presents you with the opportunity to purchase something that can show you like
Hmm.
check mark off objects on your map that are completed 100%.
Oh, we
Um,
like that.
yeah, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's well, and it has the classic. There is a sort of end to the game and the story, but if you collect enough of certain
Ah,
collectibles and stuff, there's
Mm.
more of an
the
end
real
game harder
ending.
experience. Yeah, my
Story?
only
No?
story, yes, there is a little bit of one. It's kind of a little bit generic fare of something's gone wrong in this world. Please save it for us.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not really. I would say if you're looking for story, not what you're looking
Hmm.
for here, but it's really the gameplay that makes you clear something and you go, okay, now I know about 1,000 different places that I can go that I've seen before that I can take this and run a little bit deeper into that area with it.
That's cool. Yeah, this looks like a blast. It's I always like when games sort of fuse two things together because you can get some bad fusions, and you can get some that are actually kind of novel and neat and work. And this one looks like it kind of works.
Yeah, it's loads of fun. Not the longest thing. You'll definitely finish it under 10
Sure.
hours, I would say.
Okay.
But
It's a Dolly level game right
yeah.
there.
Well, and the best news is that it's on Steam. It runs on Steam Deck flawlessly. So it's the perfect little, essentially Game Boy Advance game that you can take with you
Love
on
it.
Steam Deck.